In my opinion, if you're proud of something, you shouldn't hide it. My name is Ruel-Gauthier. I go to University of Ljubljana, Biotehnična fakulteta. I study forestry.
My name is Rok Smrekar. I am a student at the Faculty of Economics at University of Ljubljana, and I study on master's degree entrepreneurship, and I'm the president of the student council here at this faculty.
The Slovenian flag has a symbol on the left top corner. Those three hills are Triglav. It's the tallest mountain in Slovenia.
The Slovenian flag represents the three colors that were very similar to Russian flag. However, we are the only republic of ex-Yugoslavia that don't have very strong relationship with the Russians. That's how the young people see it.
My parents taught me a little at home, and then in school they explained it all, what it means, where did it come from, etc., etc. I did not feel any pride or anything else for the national symbol.
Other symbols of our country are things that we make. These are mostly our symbols. I mean, our symbols, our national pride is also Proteus, which can only be found in Postojnska Jama. The nationalism sense, that's something that we are a bit reluctant to say it out loud. I mean, nationalism right here in Slovenia is not very rich. We are mostly proud of the things that make us different than others. I wouldn't call it exactly national pride because it's not a national thing. I mean, we can be proud of, I don't know, Triglav, but it's just a mountain.
My parents are from Slovenia. They were teaching me about the history and the flag about Slovenia at a young age, because even from their perspective, knowledge is really valuable. My parents were all for Slovenia, and my great-grandfather, when he was young, he actually lived in Austro-Ugarska and Yugoslavia. So sometimes when I go to him, he actually tells me stories about what was happening at his age.
They were pro-independence, but at the time, most of the people were pro-independence, like a lot. But when the independence came, they all had different ideas on how we should continue. And when we were fighting the 10-day war to get separated, we were all together as one. After that, we started to divide ourselves between different political parties, between different views of our life and so on. And these are generations and generations of people who were living in Yugoslavia. Some were happy with the system, some were not happy with the system. And they also like to make differences between them. Like, you believe this, you were a communist, you were red, you were white, you were I don't know what. There are some things that happened to us that are so contradictory between themselves. A lot of stories what happened and the national war and so on, that we just cannot have an agreement on who was right and who was wrong. And us young people, we don't care about that. We were all born in the new country.
Let's go. Make it perfect. Yeah. It's been a funny day, everything wanted to fail. You pile up on a table with bills that you haven't paid, or you're about to have a test scene studied till you panic through everybody else showing attitude. You're caught up in the traffic, you cannot see the magic. Does life stressing you out, or you think it's tragic? You're battered through a dream song coming through, you're in a shack dreaming of them days you're living comfortable. But I'ma be the bearer of a clear message. There's one life to live and we're not gonna waste it. So pack your shoes, pack your bag, get your head out, put your bike out, put your plate out.
We like to educate ourselves in things that we think that will help us in the future. On educational level, what will this bring? What kind of a benefit will you have from it? To know what the national flag represents and so on and so on.
Yeah, the history subjects, most of them we talk about the past, because those who don't know the past are doomed to repeat it. But I think it should be actually more like 3 out of 4 of the past and 1 out of 4 today or the future. Because just because we know what happened in the past, that won't help us if if a similar problem is going to happen tomorrow. I actually don't have any friends who are really proud of their country, that some tradition each family does, but not all of it.
Only the institutions which are connected to the government display the national flag. Others don't. For example, Serbs display their national flag everywhere, all the time. They are a proud nation.
The national anthem is actually taught in primary school, even in secondary school. It should be told that everybody respects the anthem, that's logical, but most of them don't actually know all of the lyrics. And I'm one of those examples. I know most of it, but I don't know everything.
Slovenian culture in higher education is something that the university wants to push forward. For example, studying only in Slovenian language. However, the Faculty of Economics here is an international school. We have 2 programs which are held entirely in English. And this is something that we would like to push forward again, but the university doesn't want that. And this is something which is more of a setback for us than a benefit, to have everything in Slovenian language, because we think that with that kind of policies you actually are closing yourself, not opening yourself to international world.
Most of the people that I know are evading the subject of politics because, truth be told, in Slovenia politics are really unbalanced, and they call them crooks and everything because they actually cannot decide on anything, and top people are stealing some money. Which we actually have a saying that if somebody steals $1 million, million euros in this case, they can pay the cops and nothing happens. But if you steal a lollipop, you're going to prison.
I think that the future of national pride in this space, in Slovenia, that it will change. I hope it will change to something that when we go, for example, when I was on the Erasmus exchange in Warsaw, I kind of missed the flag, the coat of arms. But I think it will change. I think that it will change when we become like a fully international nation. In the future, arts funding, education-wise, it has to change. But there is always room for improvement. I'm not saying that it's bad now, but I think that in the future this has to change. It will take generations to improve, it will take generations to go, it will take ideas to die, it will take new ideas to create, but this is all something that we can do with a conversation. I hope that we will have a conversation in the future. Even though we are a small country, we can adjust, we can change. It's not a problem for us. However, this adjustment process is also very dangerous, because that's when you change yourself to become something else, you're also losing a part of yourself to gain a new one.